Hello, everyone. Welcome to Loud and Proud Orlando, the Pride Pod. We're live March 9th, 8:47 p.m. Sorry for being a little late. It's just that we just got out of a big important episode here at the City Pod. So appreciate you and your support. We have a lot to talk about today. So make sure you're sticking around for everything. We're gonna be discussing today, and part of my screenshot here. Reagan, I guess I'm going to butcher her name. Reagan Raabe, or Raabe signs. Matt Crone is back, which is, I mean, that was what the fastest loan ever in history. We're going to be discussing Orlando Pride is undefeated, I believe, in the preseason. They haven't lost one game. They just defeated Fort Lauderdale United 2-1. Over there at their stadium. Also, 2026 season predictions. We'll have them here. We're going to be previewing also the Seattle Rain on Sunday. And obviously, our friend John Rawlins moving back to England, saying goodbye. This is the last episode of the Pride Pod. John, how are you, my friend?
I'm sad for my last episode of the Pride Pod, Luis. This is our baby right here. I still think about that first episode with Shinta where she called us out for saying Hafaeli wrong. So Shinta, I'll never forget that. Thanks for the good times.
Yeah, we were very weary of coming out. Remember, like we're like, how are people gonna feel?
We didn't know how we were going to be received as two men talking about women's soccer, Luis.
Yeah, we're like, yeah.
But I'm excited for the season. I'm ready. I'm excited to see Barbra Banda back on the field. I've been doing the NWSL United podcast right up until this point. So I feel very mentally prepared for the NWSL season. I feel like I know more about the NWSL teams than ever before. And I'm excited. I'm ready for Orlando Pride. Hopefully we're going to look like 2024 Orlando Pride, Luis, like with Banda back and Ovalle and Marta and everything clicking and all these young new signings that we've got, all these college stars starting to break into the team. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful for a good Orlando Pride season.
Yeah, and to start, Orlando Pride signed forward Reagan Raabe to a short-term contract. Obviously, this is the official, the official news coming from Orlando Pride Communications. This is an invitee, that essentially played for University of Nebraska. Came into the preseason as a non-roster invitee and immediately definitely showed a lot of potential. And obviously, Orlando Pride VP of Soccer Operations General Manager Caitlin Carducci said she earned her place every single day, and her journey reflects exactly what it means to wear this badge. We're excited to reward her work with a short-term contract to continue supporting her growth at the Orlando Pride. So, what are your thoughts on this signing, John? I mean, I think it's an exciting signing. More young, young Pride players coming from the university that are excelling. I think we have a lot of youth, and I think the youth is scoring a lot of goals.
We got a lot of young, good prospects, especially this year, but even like last year, we think about the idea of Simone Jackson, what she's going to look like this year. I'm excited for these young players, and Reagan is another one that we added in. I think it's interesting that Caitlin says she earned her contract, right? She was there kind of on trial, something that we see more in the women's game, not so much in the men's game anymore. But, they're on trial in the preseason, kind of proving to say, give me a contract. It's only a short-term contract. When we think about other Pride players that have been in this situation, they're not usually a player that's going to get a whole lot of minutes, but maybe they just starting out with a short-term contract to see, can she prove that she can do it in NWSL, and then we'll go ahead and give her like a 2 or 3 year contract maybe in the future. So I don't mind that. I just think that it's another kind of squad fill out player, right? Another forward. We considered that we had a couple players that were like wingers or attacking midfielders that we could play it forward. But like Reagan, I think is more of like a 9, I'm guessing. I don't really know a lot about her. But I'm excited that we've got one more player in the door. We said we were like maybe one or two away from the season starting. And yeah, we got one more.
Yeah, I mean, she was a standout of the University of Nebraska. She had an injury that kind of sidelined her for over a season. But I mean, she's joining Haley McCutcheon and also obviously and Sarah um, and some of the people she knows within the team. So if McCutcheon knows her, I mean, makes sense, right? I mean, also her collegiate career was notable for playing several positions in attack. So a player like that definitely in Sep's system makes a lot of sense, especially in the attacking depth. And so again, the strategy of Orlando Pride the past few seasons, even when Haley was at the helm, it was a strategy to integrate, young talent, especially rotational options, especially forward. We lost Ali Watt, obviously. Somebody could play the wing, somebody could play the nine. And so this short-term deal, I think it allows a lot of flexibility. So it's great. I mean, I think it's good for the Pride. It's good for me. Hopefully, she starts on the right foot and starts scoring some goals. Maybe she stays till the end of the season.
We'll see, right? I think it's there's definitely opportunities here in this team. I don't think we know. Like we've got probably like some of our starting 11 locked in, but not a lot of that starting 11. And then behind them, in terms of who's the backup, in several positions, who's going to come off the bench, there's a lot of opening at the moment. So it's really about which Pride players step up in preseason or have stepped up in preseason, and which ones are going to start the season well and get minutes, and which ones, when they do get an opportunity, really show that they can do something. I think like in 2025, there was a lot of opportunities given out, but we were always looking for somebody to really make an impact. So this year, I think it's about which of the young players can make an impact fastest. Which of them, like your Solai Washington, for example, is she going to be able to come in and start scoring goals or start contributing from the wing immediately? Therefore, then she's probably going to be one of the first names off the bench. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here for young players, because I don't think we are nailed on like starters everywhere that are veterans that you're trying to beat out. I think there's opportunities even in the first 11. So if you prove that you can do something, then I think you can start getting in this team. And let's see what Reagan can do, man. I mean, another piece. I think that's it. I was a little disappointed that we didn't make a big splashy signing this summer. I mean, I know we got this winter. I know we've got Jackie Ovalle still, and that was 1.5 million. That wasn't that long ago. I just think with the hip rule and a lot of what you see other teams in NWSL doing, we have gone heavy on the youth, and we're relying on a lot of our veteran players to have a much better season. So is that going to work out for us? I would have liked to see one more like elite attacking piece. But it seems like we're, like I said, going for a lot of young players that we're hoping are going to step up.
Yeah, 100%. So definitely happy for the signing and what it could definitely potentially mean, especially the versatility that this player shows. I think it makes a lot of sense. And another player that really it took me. This was probably the fastest loan ever. McKinley Crone. McKinley Crone is back with Orlando Pride. Sorry, I'm looking here for the actual picture. They announced it right here, I believe. Welcome back.
Mac is back.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the club making this happening like so unexpected? I mean, she was ready to start with Fort Lauderdale. Have you heard anything in particular about this move?
I don't know what was going on here, whether this was always intended to be the case, like it was just because we were in preseason and they were playing and she could go on loan. I don't. Did she even really play one game? I hadn't really checked, honestly. I don't know what's going on. I expected her to go and then actually have some time. We'll see if she got some games. So is this because this was planned? I don't think so. I think more likely we've had a change in our goalkeeper core. Maybe they haven't announced yet and we need to bring her back. I don't know what's going on here, but it's very strange to be like, Max loaned out. Great. She's going to Fort Lauderdale. She's going to be there for a while. She's going to get some real minutes. She's going to play in like WSL, which is, WSL, sorry, which is a Div 1 league, as they would like to say. So apparently the same level as far as US soccer is concerned as NWSL. And yet she comes back already. So I probably need to do some investigating. Maybe the fans know a little bit more than us on this one, Louise. Maybe there's some personal reasons here that we don't know. Yeah, but I was very confused when I saw this news.
Yeah, so I'm reading the comments here, but they're right. I was going to bring it out in just a second. Crone got destroyed, 14 goals in 4 matches. Asman, meanwhile, is doing great with Lexington. Morche was in the boot last preseason match, likely why Crone is back. Says Cosette was in a walking boot at the preseason match. This is John C. Jackie D64. Riley Tiernan was a trialist for Angel City last year. It can work out. Yeah, I agree. Well said words for Lauderdale. Where you're here, put her back on your bus, please. Says well said words. She had 3 ACLs in college, but that's about the other player. Says Shinta. Thank you, Shinta. Good that you're here. Basically, Keep, I had to pop into the Pride Pod, had to get John's very last takes on the NWSL side. Well, yeah, so
it's both. She had a horrible time down there, and we think Cosette's injured. So
yeah, so Cosette's injured. It hasn't been properly announced, but everybody saw that she's in the boot. I found out as well. Also, think about it. The Pride kind of wanted to have a full roster back to put an end to their preseason. Obviously, bringing Mac back ensures that they'll have their full goalkeeper union together. Somebody that already kind of knows where the roster stands. Somebody that knows kind of the system of Seb, and in a way, it's a kind of veteran presence and knowledge of their system in-house, and I feel like that has more value than just getting somebody from the outside. So they are within the realm of pulling that loan back. When they ask the player, hey, do you want to come back? Well, Mac is not going to say no. If you want to play USL or you want to play NWSL. So clearly,
I don't think Mac has a choice really either, right? It's right. A loan, and with that, there'll always be an option to we can end the loan if we need to bring her back. I hadn't been paying attention to her games down there. Obviously, I had a lot going on, but that's crazy to see that she dropped that many goals. It's that's not what we hope for Mac. We want our local players to do well. So I don't know if their back line is just horrible, because sometimes it's not all about the goalkeeper. But yeah, that's not a great stat. So I don't think this is a good successful loan spell for Mac, right? This is I think she's probably going to look back on her time at Fort Lauderdale and think that didn't go as I hoped.
Plus, probably for a lot of people, this doesn't mean absolutely nothing. But it's just a little bit more motivating as an athlete to be playing a real top tier of your sport than playing on the under tier. You know what I mean? And not to disrespect the USL Super League, because I cover that too, and I Tampa Bay Sun, all of that good stuff. But they are. When you go to the games, when you go, it's reminds me of Orlando City when it first started. It's very grassroots, like 3rd, 4th division looking. So it's complete different than NWSL. So
yeah, I think it's a bit of both. It's based on what people are saying in the comments, right? They had a horrible back line, but she also didn't do herself any favors. Like when you go on loan, you've got to impress. You got to do something good. So to come back with that record is, that doesn't help her case to try and get in the first team for us.
It says, yeah, their defense didn't do it and didn't do her any favors. I didn't watch too many games, but from what I saw, it definitely wasn't all her. This is of all sad words. Shinta, wish we can sign the Chinese keeper. She's like 6'5". Man, 6'5". When did they feed her when she was a kid, man? Crazy. And can actually get down quickly. There you go. Shinta, Fort Lauderdale is a mess, but wasn't good for Crone. 12 save in for matches and 13 let in. Oh man, that's not
not good stats.
yeah. Fort Lauderdale
But
messed up. Go ahead, man.
I know there's a lot of like I know a lot of people don't like Anna Morehouse in goal, right?
But this is
But right now it looks like you got Cosette Merche in a boot. You got Matt Crone coming back from loan that didn't go well. It's Anna's your option now, right? That's it, really. So it's going to be another year of Anna, whether people in the chat like that or not.
No, 100%. And with Mac essentially being back, the preseason buzz is what happened in Fort Lauderdale against Fort Lauderdale United, 2-1. Orlando Pride defeated at their house Fort Lauderdale United. I wish still they would have played. I would have loved, on a personal note, for the Pride to play Tampa Bay Sun. I think that would have been tremendous. But they played Fort Lauderdale United, which is right now they're going through a slump, but they're not really a bad team. I mean, I think the Florida teams in the USL Super League are always very competitive. I know Tampa kind of fell down, and I know Fort Lauderdale fell down a little bit. Jacksonville is killing it, Sporting Jacks, but
did they play in the same stadium that Miami plays, or did they play somewhere else? Where was this?
No, they play somewhere else.
Okay, but they're in actual Fort Lauderdale. They're not playing in like Brevard and calling it Fort Lauderdale.
No. Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie.
Yeah. I mean, look, we had a preseason game. People got to go. Shout out to anybody who went down to an actual preseason game and saw what Orlando Pride looks like this year. Because, we don't. What's wild to me, Luis, is the fact that they posted this, but they don't send out a press release or anything. So it's just like, oh yeah, we won 2-1, but like, there's no write up. There's no like, nobody could send out like Austin couldn't knock out a little, here's what happened during this game that clearly the public could see. So shout out to y'all if you were down there. Let us know. What do they look like? Who's clicking? Who are you excited about?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, they played a friendly. Fort Lauderdale United played against them. They call it the Sunshine Showdown, and they trailed 2-1. They played at the Bankart Field. That's what they called Bankart Field. So it's definitely
that was it, Bankart Field.
Yeah, so definitely, Orlando looked. Fort Lauderdale tried to come back in the second half, trying to apply pressure on Orlando's defense, but Orlando extended the lead shortly after. Summer Yates made it 2-0. So that's insane. Good for Summer Yates. You know what I mean? Summer Yates coming back with a goal. That's not bad at all. I mean, I'll take that all day. Hopefully, and also Castaigne scored in the 36th minute. So Castaigne 36 minutes of the first half, and then Yates made it 2-0 in the 56th minute, and then Fort Lauderdale scored in the 60th minute. So
was Castaigne playing striker? Was she up top?
Yeah, she was up top. Yep, she was up top.
Nice. I feel like she's going to be the number one behind Banda, like as a striker second option.
Yeah, so Shinta's a 7, getting 6 headers this season, calling it now. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, Fort Lauderdale did minute-by-minute updates on X during the match. Well, that's good for them.
Like in college, like 7 had so many goals. She's like not crazy tall, but she leaps in the air like really well. Like she can get up there.
She knows how to finish the ball.
Yeah, she got a great head on her. Yeah,
she's a finisher. The goalkeeper we played was decent. The goal Fort Lauderdale score was kind of sketchy, scuffling around in the box. We scored off a corner and from outside the box. Well, that's good. Fort Lauderdale did a bunch for it. Us not so much, says Shinta. Also, I forgot too. John C makes a good point. Kyra Martin is also an option. So again, they
She
have not.
is, yeah.
Plus, also Matt.
What was it? Big East goalkeeper of the year. She was or something. That was it.
Yeah. So pretty much what the Pride is doing is let Mac and Kara battle it out for second.
Yeah, I don't see them rolling the dice with unless Kara shows in training that she's like as good as Anna, if not even better. Even then I don't see them risking goalkeeper to somebody who doesn't have any NWSL experience. Like this is the thing with goalkeepers. Like unless your first team goalkeeper is so bad they feel like they need to put the other goalkeeper in, or your like new college goalkeeper is really really good, they have to prove that they need to get in, and it's just not a position where you get a lot of minutes. I mean, so I think it's going to take a lot for Cara Martin to get in there over Anna.
Now, Orlando Pride, this is a great result. Definitely, they had a victory over Fort Lauderdale, 7 Castaigne and Summer Yates, as already mentioned. Three wins in the preseason. They lost against Gotham, so it's 3 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw in preseason. So they beat University of Florida, Fort Lauderdale United. Alongside, they had a draw against the Spirit. So they got 1 loss against Gotham on March 1st. Again, all closed doors, right? And that, because I said they were undefeated, so that was incorrect. So my apologies there. But that shows. I really, there's really not a lot of coverage of those games, unfortunately.
That's my thing is like, I don't know. I feel like we talk about this every week, Luis, but it just drives me insane. Like, if Fort Lauderdale are covering it and tweeting it and all this stuff, like, what are we doing? Like, I'm sorry, but if it's being covered by one team, the opposing team, we should 100% be covering it. I think it comes straight from Seb or from the back office that they don't want any reporting on preseason at all. It's got to be from there because it's usually the coach that makes those decisions. And so I think it's just frustrating really because, why hold information back? Why are we, it's literally a week before the season. You're having a public game, throw it on YouTube, give us updates, write a report, send out pictures. Just give us one game in preseason that's actually treated like a real game and with actual reporting, I think is reasonable.
There you go. Shinta, you say that now, but if they start with Anderson, it's going to get real ugly. It says, there is 0 chance we change our starting keeper this year, says of all set words. Jay Texas, England posted a video of Anna making saves. Oh, there you go. Well, that's good.
Maybe she'll make another appearance. Who knows? Maybe. I doubt it, but
yeah. And
she got 1 game.
Yeah, and with that, we're going to be talking about our season predictions. So for Orlando Pride 2026. So the 2025 results, most minutes we had, obviously, it was Anna Morehouse. Most yellow cards was Ali Limos with 4. Most assists was Haley McCutcheon with 4. Most goals with Barbra Banda with 8, which is crazy because she only played like half the season or a little less than that. Defender in the year was Emily Sams, but she went to Angel City. Haley McCutcheon, DM of the year. Attacking midfielder of the year was Marta. Striker of the year was Banda. U24 player of the year was Corey Dyke. Player of the year was Haley McCutcheon. 33 goals scored for the Pride, 27 goals against, 40 points total. Final table, it was 4th. They had a semifinal loss in the postseason, the NWSL Cup, and then we failed to advance to the Champions Cup. And then the Challenge Cup, we lost 1-1 on penalties against Washington Spirit. So You ready to do this, John? Your 2026 season predictions?
Yeah, I mean, you could take those last two categories out of there because we ain't going to be in no Champions Cup this year. I'll tell you that, Luis.
Oh yeah, true that.
Sad to say, right? Like I was thinking about this. I'm like, oh, what are we predicting? And I'm like, no, wait, we're only predicting NWSL because we literally, there's no Summer Cup, there's no Challenge Cup for us, there's no Champions League. It's just a regular ass NWSL season.
All right. So, and also the chat can make their picks as well. So make sure if you won your vote, we can definitely write it right here. So just make sure you write it on your on the comments. You want to start with who do you have for most minutes?
Most minutes, I'm gonna play it real safe and go Adam Morehouse.
Most minutes, Anna Morehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think.
I think we've seen even when it goes that wrong, they're reluctant to get her out of net. And goalkeepers always build up minutes, man. Like look at last year, it was Anna. And I think a lot of our last year I would have picked Emily Sams for that, but there you go. She's not here. So in terms of players that are going to play a lot, it's usually a defender. And I just think our defenders might change and our center mids might change. I think most minutes is going to be Anna.
Yeah, 100%. Now, when it comes to most yellow cards, well, let's see what the chat says. You guys want to put your pick right on the comments, but we want to do most yellow cards in the meantime.
Yeah, most yellow cards. Oh, that's hard. I'm gonna go Ali Limos.
Limos.
Yeah, I think she's gonna be doing a lot of the running around, tackling. I think we're gonna see more of Ali Limos this year, and I think she does that. She's like the one who has to do that role. So I'm gonna go Ali Limos. Who was it last year?
Last year it was Limos. Yeah, with 4.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for. I'm gonna go for Haley McCutcheon. I think she's gonna be. I'm again. Hopefully I'm incorrect because technically I would love for her to be the anchor, but if she's gonna be double dutying the whole midfield again and making sure everybody's doing their job correctly, I think there might be some frustration based on the competition that we're gonna face. So that will bring, maybe playing a little extra physical, and then she may get a little bit more cards than last year. So I'm going for Haley. Let's see what the chat says real quick here. This is Limos most yellow, says Shinta. Okay, well, we're gonna put Shinta here, Limos as well, and then what for most minutes? Who do you have? No one put anything else for most minutes, but most assist, John.
Oh, I was really tempted to pick Jackie Ovalle, but I don't know. I'm not willing to put my eggs in that basket. I'm gonna go Marta.
I was gonna say the same thing.
I think Marta's still on this field, and I think Marta, as much as I am ready to move on, even though she's the GOAT and I love her and she's incredible, I say this all the time. We are too reliant on a player that is now 40 years old. So I still think Marta's going to play a lot, and I think she's going to get goals, and I think she's still an integral part of this team. But I would like to start planning the future because she's literally, this is like her last year, right? I mean, she's not even signed after this season, and I would be shocked if she stays even longer. She might do, but we just don't know. This could be her last year.
Yeah, it might be her last year. I know that she wants to have a family with her wife, so we'll see. But the chat picked Salai Washington. So that's pretty good.
I was also tempted to go like Simone Jackson,
Yeah, true.
maybe, but I think maybe Simone's going to be scoring more goals than providing them. It could be Angelina. Maybe Angelina has an incredible year this year and becomes that midfielder again. I just think a lot of our assists come from the central part, not necessarily our wingers. Even though like other teams, we get assists from wingers, we don't really see a lot of that. We don't see a lot of crosses. We see more like inside play, a lot of like balls through the middle. So I find like our assists come sort of from like Hayley McCutcheon and Marta and maybe even Luana. Luana could have a big year. She could get up there in the assists.
Yeah, 100%. Luana could go there too, but I like the pick of Salai. I was gonna pick Salai, but I just would rather go for the. I think Marta's gonna be the top assist as well.
Yeah.
Last year it was Hayley McCutcheon. I mean, and that
could be Hayley again. She could have another great year.
Could be Hayley again. Now, obviously, I think this one to me, I think is gonna be easy. I'm going for Barbra Banda on most goals. I actually, I'm gonna say Barbra Banda is gonna have 15 goals this year. What about you? What do you think, John?
Oh gosh, definitely Banda. I don't know if she can have 15. I'm just really like we just seen with like Wilder coming back, like what happened there. So I just want a full season of Banda. Like I think she's gonna score goals, but I just really want to see her fit and healthy and make sure that she's got over this, her issues and she's not gonna have anything go wrong because, I just want to see a whole season of her leading the line again.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling and I hope that she goes all out this year. Knock on wood. I think if we want to entice her for her to stay in the Pride, it's important for her to, even for as a player, and I say with all due respect, if she has ambition to play in Europe or any like a big club like a Barcelona or like a Chelsea, I mean, you got to excel in the NWSL. You got to be one of the top players, and I think she's gonna come out swinging. She's already showing it in preseason. So I have no doubt that Banda is going to definitely, hopefully, make an impact. Hopefully, more than 8 goals, 100%. I mean, she did that. Having more than half a season left. And she still won most goals for the Pride last year, John.
Yeah, I mean that. I think that says a lot, right, about last year. Like I'm also excited about Seven Castaigne and other options we had compared to last year. Like when Banda was out, it was just the other players that we had on the roster just couldn't do anything. We didn't have any other 9 to step in. So yes, I think Banda's going to have a big year, but I also want to see goals from other players. I want to see other players be able to do that same role for us. Because if she's not able to play all the time, or we got to take it slow or not play her a game, we need other players that can actually do something close to what Barbra does in that position.
100%. It says for assist. We'll dive into assist in just a second, but we have Defender of the Year. I put here Carrie Abello. I hope that she has a monster season. Now, a lot of people saying Haley Mays, right? Who do you have, John?
I think it's going to be a big year for Zara Shavashi. I'm backing Zara. I'm a big fan of hers, and I think there is a hole in our back line, and it could be Rafaeli and Haley Mace. It could be, but I feel like Zara is going to step up. I really feel like she's had a couple of years a year at least in the league, and I think that kind of like that, rookie mentality is past her. I think she's now feeling like a bit more of a NWSL player that's comfortable in the league. And I think that she, as soon as Emily left, I think mentally she was like, I want to claim one of these spots. So I'm going to back her to have a big year.
Fantastic. And the chat is saying Haley Mace. So they think Haley Mace is a
Mace or Rafa, I think, is a good shout too. I think Rafa is like the injury thing. I don't see Rafa not getting injured at some point in the year. And that's where I see Zara stepping up, and you seeing Zara and Haley as the two there. I think it's going to start out with Rafa and Mace as our two center backs, but I think there's lots of minutes for Zara, and I think she's hungry.
Yeah, I agree too. And plus, again, she's Team Canada. So, I mean, the World Cup is a year away. So 2027 is the World Cup. So, I mean, I know that she wants to definitely be playing for Canada. And also, if Mace, Mace has a huge chance to step to be a protagonist. I think that all the national team players are going to try to ball out this year, especially like the young players like Corey Dyke and Carrie Avello. So that's why I'm going for Avello. I think Avello last season.
She was like in injury last year. She never was like able to play like a full 90. That's my only concern. If it's 2024 Carrie Avello, I think that's a great shout because she was killing it that year.
Yeah, I think we're gonna because of the World Cup. I feel there's even more of wanting to kind of play on that level again. You know what I mean? I think it's a good opportunity for Carrie to be on the coach UN's women's coach's mind. No.
Shinta saying Anderson has been playing in the center back role instead of Mace. So like Anderson and Rafa.
No, could be. No.
There's definitely like Emily Sams has left a big old gap there. Someone's got to step up. And like we're assuming Rafa's going to be there because of her class and her quality and her experience. But who's next to Rafa is an open slot.
I want to say hello to Miss Emily Sams because she was checking out our content last time. She's an Angel City player, but she was checking out our content. So appreciate you, Emily, for checking us out. Haley McCutcheon was the defensive mid of the year in 2025. I think this is going to be a repeat, in my opinion. So I'm going to put Haley McCutcheon again. What about you, Joe?
My heart says Luana. My head says McCutcheon.
Okay.
I'm going to go McCutcheon just because. But I do think Luana's going to have a good year. And I'm hopeful for. I don't know. We never really saw like the complete. Like we had like 2 months of Luana before, everything happened. So it's kind of like we're signing a new player and she's finally, I feel like, fit and ready to go. And she's been back with Brazil. I think she reads the game really well. And I think her and Haley could be a really interesting combination. But I just don't know who's going to get the minutes because last year we played 3 defensive mids and Ali Lemos was in there as well with Angelina. I think McCutcheon is a nailed on D mid starter. Who's next to McCutcheon if we play a 4-2-3-1? I don't know, honestly, at this point. But if we play a 4-3-3, then we're probably looking at Lemos and Angelina, and that leaves Luana out. And I want to find a way to get Luana on the field as a starter. I think she's a real difference maker, and you see that when she comes off the bench. If she's fit enough, let's play her from the start. Let's start playing her 90 minutes week in, week out.
So I just put the poll right now, and so far, Haley McCutcheon is winning the race. Yeah, Haley McCutcheon is winning the race. So we're going to put Haley McCutcheon here for the chat.
Yeah.
Now
she's the most obvious. Like, there's no questions around her being our best teammate, is it?
Yeah, one person voted for Luana, and about 75% of people are voting for McCutcheon. So
yeah.
Now let's go for attacking midfielder of the year. So in this, we have obviously
This can be a
Angelina,
winger or like that's what I'm going to say. I know it says like it's not just a 10. This can be a winger or a 10.
Ovaye,
Yeah.
Marta. Was it? Are you gonna add Banda as well?
No, Banda's in the striker category. So I
So
put Banda 7. Those two definitely, and probably well maybe not Reagan. I guess Reagan's
yeah,
attacking mid.
Angelina. I'm putting Angelina, Ovaye, Martin, Yates. Does that sound correct?
Yes. Also Simone Jackson, Marta. Did you say Marta?
Yeah, I can only put 4, so I'm gonna put
Oh,
Yates
okay.
/ Jackson. You know. So if you
We'll
either
see.
pick Jackson or Yates, so let's see.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the
I
poll
mean,
right
this is
now.
assuming we play like a 4, I don't know what we're going to play. Was it a 4-2-3-1 down in Fort Lauderdale? Or was it a 4-3-3? Because if we're playing a 4-3-3, then Martha's one of these wingers.
Yeah. Um, according to what Fort Lauderdale said on their report, they said it was. I'm looking here. No, they didn't. No, they didn't put it up. No, they don't have it here. Sorry, man.
No, maybe some people who went can tell us what they saw. If they saw a 4-3-2-1, I mean, I would like to see that and put Ovalle in the 10 position
Yeah,
or
I would like.
Marta in the 10 position.
I
But
would like.
I think we're gonna have more 4-3-3 from last year. In terms of best stacking mid, I think I'm gonna go Soli Washington. That's what I'm gonna go.
You want to do Soli Washington? Okay.
Yeah, I think
I'm gonna.
Marta has a good year, but I think Soli has a better year. I'm gonna back some kids here, Luis. I'm backing some kids.
Look. Marta had the most assists, but that doesn't mean she'll be attacking. Attacking
Yeah,
mid
right.
the year. I would love to see Jackie Ovalle not playing the wing. I would like to also see her as a 10, or
Yeah.
maybe Angelina goes into the bench and we play her there. I mean, I just think
Simone
that,
Jackson was a one of the ones I really considered as well.
yeah. I'm gonna say,
You gonna back Jackie? You gonna
yeah,
back Ovalle?
I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt to Jackie Ovalle, because I mean
I hope so.
she needs to have a turnaround. I mean,
Like some players come with a price tag, and that's part of the gig. Like 1.5 million is a massive price tag in the world of women's soccer. So yes, there's that extra pressure, but you got to step up. You got to show that you're worth the salary you're getting paid. Show that you're worth the transfer fee that you wanted, that you commanded. Show that why you were one of the best players in the Liga MX, right? I mean, I think we haven't seen really much magic from the magician yet. So I want to see some exciting moments. But not only that, just the physicality we've talked about so much with her. Just don't get knocked off the ball so easily.
yeah, 100%. The chat has spoken. 100% Jackie Ovalle. So
I love it. We're going all in on Jackie.
yeah. So I mean she cost like what? She was one of the highest transfers in NWSL. So she was a what, 2 million or
At the
1.5?
time, she was the record, but it's been. I mean, but you think about they just like, and I talked about this when it happened. Corey Bethune just went for 1 million,
Yeah.
and that is 100% one of the best attacking mids in the league. So if you're saying Jackie Ovalle is worth 1.5 Corey Bethune's, then she
Yeah.
better start putting up the numbers, right?
So let's do and if you want to vote, I'm doing the poll right here in the chat. So striker of the year. So we're looking at 7. We're looking at Banda. We're looking at there was another one I forgot. Simone, right? Would she be a striker, Jackson?
No, more like Neil Winger. I think definitely Banda and definitely Seven. But it's going to be Banda.
Solai? Nah, she's more of a mid, right?
Salai can play there, but I think we're going to see more likely her on the wing.
So
I mean, behind. That's why I think it's going to be Seven off the bench for Banda at like the 60 minutes for the first part of the season because they're going to take Banda slow. And if she scores a goal or two, even though she might be on for a hat trick, they're probably going to bring Seven on just to play it safe. So I think Seven's going to get like 30 minutes at the beginning of the season here or there. See if she can prove herself. But I think she's the most obvious person to put in who's the natural seven. I'm sorry, natural nine in that position.
yeah, so we have Solai Washington. We have Seven. We have also another forward, Simone Jackson. We also have Julie Doyle. So let's put Julie Doyle on there. Let's put Julie Doyle.
Julie Doyle could be it.
So
We didn't even consider her for attacking mid of the year. Maybe Julie Doyle has a great year again. She was good in 2024.
To me, I am pushing for Seven Castaigne personally.
You think Seven's going to be the striker of the year? Nah.
Well, I'm pulling. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think she's gonna come. Hopefully, she scores between 4 to 5 goals. I kind of something similar that we saw with Alex Kerr when she was in here. So I mean, maybe 4 or 5 goals. Hopefully, because definitely Band is gonna need some help. But I still believe that's gonna be Barbra Banda.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, John?
It's gonna be Banda. No, there's no doubt about it.
Like we're so sure, it's unbelievable.
Honestly, this weekend I've got my last City game and I've got my last Pride game. And the thing I am most excited about by a long way is watching Barbra Banda one more time on the field in person. So, she's electric, man.
Also.
Yeah, and she's gonna be hungry, bro. She's gonna come back ready to go. Like she's been missing this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Right now, it's winning overwhelmingly Barbra Banda. So I'm going to for Banda here. So now U24 play of the year. John, who do you have?
I thought a lot about this one. This is where I'm gonna go with Simone Jackson. I think she's gonna have a year. I think she's still pushing to be one of these options as maybe one of the wingers, right? There's still, if we're gonna go 4-3-3, you're probably gonna put Banda and Marta, sorry, Obaye and Marta there, but maybe we play 4-2-3-1 and then there's a winger slot. And I think she is still a rookie-ish, right? Well, not really. This is her second year, but she's one more year ahead of a lot of the other players around her. And I think last year she showed some really exciting moments. And I think she's a dynamic player that she creates stuff. She goes direct. She goes 1v1. I think Seb likes that, and I think he's going to use that late in games to try to get her to change games. I'm hopeful for Simone Jackson to have a big year this year. So I'm going to back her to be our number one player that's under 24 years old. I also really considered Corey Dyke again, but she's no longer. I think she aged out of that.
Yeah, true. I put her by mistake, so my apologies. But right now,
she's like 25 now, right? I think.
I think she just turned. So right now, it's an even tie between Seven, Jackson, and Dyke. So I put Seven, Jackson, or Shavoshi.
Shavoshi is a good consideration as well. Yeah.
So one more vote, and then the chat will decide. So.
Okay.
Okay.
What do you think, Luis?
Well, I was gonna go for the same thing that the chat.
Simone? Oh, the chat.
So you said Who? Simone
I'm
Jackson?
going Simone Jackson. Yeah, I
All right.
think
So the chat
it
said
could be Salida. That's the other one.
I voted for 7. I think 7 is going to do it. And then the chat said 7 as well. I think 7 is going to be a solid striker, hopefully. And I think Banda needs that. So, and if it's somebody like 7 that's going to be hungry to step up, I think we got really 2 good strikers to hopefully. Banda doesn't have a lot, to do, right? Just poach it in, and
Yeah.
then you can sub around the first half, and then bring 7 in. You know what I mean?
I
So
find it interesting that we haven't really mentioned Oyane at all, really. Like, we haven't talked about her being a top defender or, where she's going to, like, is Oyane just going to be the right back, or is Haley Mace going to be part of the right back conversation? Is Corey Dyke going to be the right back? Like, left back is nailed down. We know it's Carriabello. There's not really any question there because we don't have another natural left back. Is Oyane going to be the right back? Is she going to be used further up the field? I think she's always been better in the attacking role than the defending role. She's really like a wing back, not a fullback.
yeah, they can
So I
use.
just think she's one that's going to be interesting to see what happens with her this year.
Yeah, plus also Corey can come off the bench for Carey. You know, there's a possibility. Also, Oyane can play on a 3 center back, like a 3-5-2. You know, like
I
you
would
said,
love to go 3 center backs in Oyane and
right?
like Abello as your wing backs. I would like put
Right.
Haley Mace as one of the 3 center backs on the right side, play Zara and Hafa. Like, I don't think Seb would do that. I just don't think he's a 3-back kind of guy. We don't see it very often.
Right.
Only at certain games we would go into that, right?
Right.
But I think that would be the best use of our wing backs.
100%. 100%. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of versatility tactically in this Orlando Pride. In a four defender formation, Oyane could also be like you said, an extra right winger with Haley Mace playing right back. So it's gonna be. I mean, a lot of versatility, but I think that's what Seb's probably gonna do. Now, Player of the Year.
Banda.
Yeah, I was gonna do the same. Barbra Banda.
I think of all the guaranteed players that we have on our team, Banda is the one that if you're, assuming she's fit and healthy again, I have no doubts that she's going to score at least 10 goals. And, last year, without her, there was a real vacuum of anybody really stepping up to show that they're like the best player of the year last year was Haley McCutcheon, right? Is that who we voted for? So I think it shows that unless Marta has an incredible year, unless Ovalle really steps up, unless one of these other players that's not considered one of the top stars of the team really has an amazing season, then it's just Banda. I don't see how anybody else is going to win our best player when she is clearly our best player.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I think the motivation for the World Cup is huge, as already mentioned, and so I mean, she's an African icon. You know what I mean? I mean, she's one of the top players in her continent.
She can create goals on her own as a striker, which is not something you see very often in 2026 anymore.
Exactly, and I think that she's going to be really motivated to break a record. I mean, she's definitely going to get more than 8 goals this season. She's not going to be satisfied. So, and again, it's important for the supporting group behind Banda is on point. So we need to have Corey a Summer Yates working, and Angelina working, a Marta being clinical, a 7 coming in and scoring a couple goals here and there. Simone Jackson on the wing. So Jackie Ovalle being that maestro That's why they signed her for 1.5 million. So I think with that support system, we're going to see a healthy Banda banging a lot of goals. So I think it's going to be player of the year. I don't know. Now, what does the chat say? Right now, 67% Barbra Banda. So 67% Barbra Banda, 17% Haley McCutcheon, 17% Marta, and 0 for Jackie Ovalle. Nobody thinks Jackie Ovalle will do anything. That's crazy.
That's not good. I mean, she's got to have a better year than last year. I don't think anyone's going to say that she's going to blow it out of the water, but at least get to like 10 assists. Like, that's what I want from Jackie. 10 assists, 5 goals. I'd be happy with that.
What? Okay, what if Jackie Ovalle this season, she doesn't do anything?
Then I think
We'll send it back to Chris.
I think Haley made a lot of good signings, but she will also be remembered for one of the biggest dubs that Pride ever signed. Like, if that's the case, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, we won't know. Like, after one season, we can't judge, a star player like this. What will be a hit player, right? She would be a hit player potentially. Actually, I don't think she would qualify, but she's in that level.
The biggest bust in the history.
Yeah, I mean, I keep trying not to compare hit players to DPs, but now I keep thinking about how we have 3 DPs, right? It's like Banda, Marta, and Ovalle are unofficial NWSL designated players, and they need to perform like it, Marta as well. Like, I think there's times where she turned it on, but there was a lot of last season where she just went missing. And no one likes to criticize the GOAT, but sometimes soccer is like, what have you done for me recently? And Marta, needs to show that she wants to show that hunger from 2024. I don't think we saw that as much in 2025.
Now, total goals scored. Last year we scored 33 goals. According to what we have here. I'm going to go, we have a healthy Banda,
Yeah. I mean, that alone will get you over that.
Yeah. Look, I know you guys are going to hate me. Well, with 7 and Banda, if they're knocking it, and I have faith that hopefully this is Angelina starts putting some good balls, Jackie Ovalle working, we should go over the hump. 48 goals.
We have to go over the hump. Yeah.
Yeah. So 2024.
What was 2024? What was that?
It was 46.
46. Banda scored what? Like 17 goals or something that year?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, but Chewinga got more.
13.
13
goals.
13 goals, and Chewinga had like 15 or something. Or even 20. Didn't she get to 20, Chewinga, or something insane? I think Banda's good for 15 goals. I'm going to go for that. And I think on top of that, from the rest of the squad, you get another 20 goals. Maybe 25. I'm going to go 40.
40.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going 48. So
yeah,
we're breaking the record from 2024.
I don't think we're going to break our 2024 record. I think like maybe Banda gets 20 goals in a row. A lot of it's to do with how many Banda gets. I don't see the rest of the squad. Someone has to step up to score. Like Ovalle has to score a serious amount of goals, or Marta, or Seven, or Salai, or somebody. Like, we need somebody else to be even close to 10 goals or 5 goals. Like last year, it was like 1, 3, 2, and that was like behind Banda. There was no one even close to 8 goals.
Right.
So I think in order to get to what you're saying, not only does Banda have to have a great year, but we need like a really good year from somebody else as well who gets like 10 goals as well on their own. Or we need 5 goals from all of the other players to step up, right?
Yeah, the chat said more than 30 goals. So
I hope so. What did we get? 33 last year.
yeah, so
We're definitely scoring more goals than last year. I'm not worried about that. I just don't think it's going to be as many as 2024.
now, and the same is for the defense, because in the defense, after losing Emily Sams, obviously you lose a big player. I have a feeling when it comes to goals against, I hope we do better. I'm gonna say they're gonna score on us. I'm gonna go 27 was 2025. I'm gonna go for 23 goals.
There was a period last year where we looked horrible in defense.
Yeah.
So I think that's got to chalk. You got to chalk up some of that.
Yeah.
If we are predicting us to have a better year, I would hope that we get more like concede less goals. I don't know if it's guaranteed though. I think the loss of Emily Sams is massive.
That's huge.
That is huge. That is huge. And I don't know like she was the organizer in the back line a lot of the time. Like Hafa will do that as well. So we need Hafa to step up and do that. But I think honestly, I still think she's one of the best center backs in the league. So losing top 10 center back like that is pretty brutal. And I think that will impact us. Anna made a lot of mistakes in 2025, but not a lot in 2024. So what version of Anna we get for most of this season will make a huge impact on how many goals we concede, right? If there's just these ridiculous moments where she lets it through her gloves, then we're going to look like we did last year and concede goals that we have no business conceding. I'm going to say we concede less than last year. I'm going to be hopeful of that. What was that last year?
Last year was 27.
Okay. I'm going to go barely less than last year. I'm going to do 24.
24. All right, let's see what the chat says. Chat says, so right now, yeah, less than 30 goals.
We're like, we just have to score more than the opposition this year. Is that what everybody's saying? We're going to concede 2 a game, but Banda's going to get a hat trick every week, so it's fine.
Correct. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's not bad. I'll take.
Yo, that makes exciting soccer. Like, that's good entertainment. As long as we score the goals, I don't care if we ship some too.
Yeah. Total points. 2025, we got 40 points.
And that was good enough for 4th, right?
For 4th, yeah. I mean, it was a tough NWSL season.
Yeah.
Elizabeth says 30. 30 goals against. 30
Man,
players.
the part of this we're not talking about is I think there's a lot of teams in NWSL that have gotten better that weren't really in the mix. I'm genuinely worried about our ability to stay in the top echelon of teams in this league this year. I don't even know if 4th is a thing for us this year. Like Banda being back is huge, but what the rest of the team looks like, I just don't know. The defense is a massive conversation. Is that going to be better? Is Anna going to make mistakes this year? Is she not? It's so hard for us to say we're going to be better than last year because even though we didn't have Banda, 4th was actually pretty good. And at one point in the season, we looked horrible. So I don't even know how we ended up in 4th. But I do think that there have been massive improvements this year to teams like Angel City and San Diego. And I think like Bay even. I think the California teams are going to take a step up. And I'm worried that we are going to get knocked out of this conversation where we have been one of the top 4 teams in the last few years.
So based on what you said, we're gonna make less than 40 points.
Uh, I think with Banda, there's more likely that we're going to get more points just because I think those games that, even though we're defensively bad, like we said, we win 2-1 or 3-2 because we have Banda and she gets us a brace that last year we wouldn't get, even though we're making the same, errors. So I think we will get more points, but I still think we're going to come like fifth, which doesn't make sense in some ways, but I think it's because the rich are going to get richer in NWSL and the poor are going to get poor. I think the bottom end of NWSL is going to lose more and the top end's going to win more. That's what I predict for this year. So I think even though we get more points, I still think we're going to come fifth.
So you go for total points. How much?
You had 44 last year?
40.
40. 46.
Okay. I'm going to go for 50. I'm going to go for 50 points.
Sidge does 95 points. Sidge, what a season that would be. Wow.
Yo, that's better than
Banda score 95 points. Banda scores 30 goals in the season.
Yo, let's make her play for Orlando City at that point, bro. Like, the hell are we doing? 30 goals. Gee.
Yeah. So you said 40, Luis? You said the exact same?
I said 50.
50, okay.
I said 50 goals.
I see Elizabeth in the chat saying 40. So she thinks the same as last year.
Okay. So we're
last year we were really bad at one point, and we lost like several games in a row. So even if we turn a couple of those into wins, I think we'll get more points. And with Banda back, Banda being back is huge.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do 50, and I think the chat said 40. So the final table, NWSL Shield position, I think, based on all the data, hopefully we got a Banda killing it, 7, McCutcheon, Carriabello coming back, Corey Guy coming back, Obaye probably playing her best soccer ever. I'm gonna go for we are in the even though it's 50 points, 10 more points than last year. We are fourth. Because, like you said, all the teams are working towards, getting better. So
I think Washington are going to be really good. I think, you still got KC that should be good, even though they've got a new manager and Nick Cushing. Not Nick Cushing, it's the other guy, the guy from Colorado. New York are going to be up there. I think that you're going to see another team take a big step up, and I worry that we're going to be the one that steps back.
Okay. So you're going to be also on the fourth?
No, I said fifth.
Fifth. Okay. Top 5. Okay. Now, what does the chat says? It says here first, 6, 4th. My expression super low this year, not gonna lie. So people are saying we're gonna be 5th or 6th. So I'm being very positive right here, John. And now,
NWSL, what did you say, Luis? 3rd.
I said 4th.
4th, okay. I think 4th is realistic. I mean, we came 4th last year.
Yeah, so
and we didn't have Barbra, and
even though we
scored issues.
I think even though we scored 10 more goals, I feel like the new standard, because everybody got better. It's gonna be, that's why I say 50 is gonna get you 4th, in my opinion.
One of the top 4 teams is gonna have to drop down, because I think like San Diego or Angel City or somebody is gonna push them out, and it could be KC. I think Gotham and Washington, I would say, are still going to be the top best two teams in the league.
I mean, I'm no disrespect. I hope Angel City drops. Hopefully, we can get Emily Sam's back.
I doubt it, man. I think they're going to be really good this year.
Yeah.
They got their coach that they got in the summer. He's European. All the best coaches are these European guys coming over to coach in NWSL, and he's one that could be really good. And they've made some good signings. I think they're going to take a step up. They look good at Coachella when I saw them in preseason games.
Well, that's good. Postseason. Are we making MLS Cup? MLS.
You mean NWSL?
Sorry.
No.
What do you say, John? Semis, laws, quarterfinals, finals. Oh, John left. Sam's won't make it the World Cup team. I'm gonna go for man, if everything works and we see the best of Hawaii, Banda kicking it, 7 scoring goals. We got the best of Summer Yates coming off the bench. We got Marta. We should be we should be in the NWSL final. We're playing one more NWSL final. I don't know if we make it, but I'm gonna go for NWSL final, man.
Not for me. No. I'm going to say semi. I think we'll make the top 4. I think we'll make semi again. I think that's it. I think we are out in the semis.
What does the chat say? No finals. We have a better chance of the MLS Cup than City. There you go.
This is very true.
Yeah, that's true. The quarterfinals. Yeah. Okay. So quarterfinals.
Look, if we just signed that one more like attacking piece, so we weren't so reliant on Ovalle, I think we're relying on a lot of things this year. We're relying on Banda coming back and being Banda like 24. We're relying on Ovalle taking a massive step up. We're relying on a lot of these young players, like the new draftees, the signings from college to hit the ground. We need our players that have been here for a year or two to make an impact like they did in 24 instead of 25. I just think there's a lot of things that need to go. We need, Anna to not make boneheaded mistakes in goal. I just think we have the team, but I don't think we went out and like fixed everything that we had from last year. I think we're just hoping that it's not what it was last year, and that with Barbra back there, that will kind of, solve our issues and we'll win games because she's on the field. I still think we're going to have a lot of issues that we had last year carry over. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that, bringing in one more piece, like one more big signing to be in the attack or in the midfield, that was like a nailed on, guaranteed star in this league, that would make me feel confident that we would go and, be a real contender again. As of right now, I think we're in that 4th to 6th range.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm just very. I like to, I like to be.
Yo, man, that 2024 season, there's no way. None of us predicted that we would win at all. So,
yeah.
And then last year, Luis, you were like, we're going to win the treble, and we won nothing. So maybe being realistic is the way to go.
Yeah. We'd love to sign some North Korean players, but that ain't happening. Come on.
Would you? We want to sign some North Korean players? Sign some South Korean star. That's what we want. I know.
We haven't replaced Water Pickett, and our keeper is no good. We need a score sign. There you go.
Yeah. I guess that's what I'm saying is like we have lost players that were guaranteed NWSL, providers, and I don't think we've necessarily replaced them with. We replace them with players that have to prove it in the league, that are not veterans. Like the only real veteran we brought in is Mace.
Well, it says North Korea has been really good. No, I believe. I mean, North Korea plays really good women's soccer.
I think we're just shocked that you're talking about players coming from
Yeah.
North Korea.
I mean, I don't know if they're going to be able to have a place, unfortunately,
I'm
here.
saying, like, we have hard enough time getting players in from other countries. Let's not make it even more difficult on ourselves.
We haven't replaced Water Pickett. Yeah, it is. Well, Julia says, if, and I mean if Banda and Obaye click together this season, it could be a great year. I agree. I mean, Obaye needs to step up, man.
There's a lot of ifs, is what I'm saying.
Let's get Linda Caicedo. I agree. I think she'd be fantastic. What are the odds to get her?
Yo, the hip money is there. It's going to be a thing in the summer. San Diego are apparently trying to get Kat Macario, but that's the kind of player I want to bring. Like, bring me a U.S. women's national team star. Huh?
Who's getting Kat Macario? San Diego?
San Diego. There's been a lot of rumors about San Diego trying to get Kat Macario. I'm just saying, bring me a U.S. women's national team star, whether from another NWSL team or from Europe. But that is a big thing that I think people say, what can you do to get more butts and seats for the Pride? The only thing that I've really seen that brings the casuals out was Alex Morgan. So bring that level of star. Like if we had a Rose Lavelle, if we had a Lindsay Heaps or a Croy Bethune or somebody of that level of U.S. women's national team stardom that would just bring people to the stadium because they're a name, that would be epic. Like that's, if you really want to get more people to the stadium, that's the piece that Orlando Pride is missing. And we could have spent 1.5 million on that. So, it is what it is.
It says we are going to retain U.S. women's national team players. Emma Hayes hates us. Yeah. What's up with the hate against Orlando?
Well,
bro?
That's why we got to sign one that's like so good that there's no debate that she gets in the team,
Why? I'm serious because I see it online. Why are people hating Orlando? What has Orlando done to them? I mean, I know that they won the
I don't know.
That's weird.
I mean, Emily Sams left to get minutes apparently for the national team. Then she didn't even get called up into the She Believes roster. Like she is now because of an injury, but like, I don't know. I don't know, man. It's annoying though, and I don't think that no U.S. women's national team players want to play here. I don't think that's true. I think we just have to work hard to encourage the right one and get them here and throw the bag at them to get them here.
100%, 100%. It says she played 0 minutes, for the national team. I agree. I mean, she hasn't played for shit. Sorry. Marta, the best of FIFA, says Sidge. There you go, Sidge. She plays 0 minutes. Can we get Lucy Bronze? She's out of the contract at the end of the. Oh man, that'd be great. Lucy Bronze? Wow. Yeah, that'd be
there you go.
Yeah, I'll like that 100%. Oh, what do you think about Lucy Bronze? I mean, that'd be amazing.
Definitely.
That'd be
definitely. The one for me would be Fallon Tellis-Joyce. I would really like that one, just because then we'd solve our goalkeeper issues as well. But I mean, there's so many good options. I mean, Lily Johannes, she's at Lyon. That might be a bit more difficult, but we've seen even the players at big European clubs. Like we're talking about Kat Macario coming from Chelsea, potentially. So like, I wouldn't rule out that we was from this national team stars that are in any club around the world. I think, both in NWSL and across Europe, like your Chelseas and your Arsenals, right? There's another one. I would like it to be a 10 or a 9 or attacking player. So that would be my preference, but those are even harder to get.
And that takes us to our next topic before we go. Definitely, Orlando Pride is facing Seattle Reign, right, for the home opener. What are your expectations of this game, John? I mean, I think
A
Yeah.
W. That's my expectation.
Yeah.
A Banda brace and a win. That's what I want to see. I mean, like we start the season against Seattle, we end the season against Seattle. I think Seattle and Portland are going to take a step back this year. I think for the last few seasons, they've not been the Seattle and Portland that they were before, where they were kind of NWSL dynasties and they were two of the best teams in the league. And I think Seattle, even with Mia Official, didn't really look that much better last year. So this is a team that I expect to be low end playoffs. And if we are a high end playoff team, then we should be beating them at home, no problems. Yeah, I want to see a good, positive attacking lineup and a Banda brace, and just start the season off well. But let's get off to the right foot.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Orlando was had an ups and downs 2025. They've kept their core intact. Obviously, Marta returns for her 10th season at age 40. The X factor certainly is going to be Barbra Banda if she's healthy and starts the season like in 2024. I mean, she's, if not one of the best players in the league, if not the best player in the league. Haley Mays also coming in, acquired from KC. A big question mark, but definitely we know she can bolster the back line, and definitely Jackie Obaya. Hopefully she has a great season. On the side of Seattle, Fishlock, obviously, she's the heartbeat of the team. Sophia Huerta, and Mia Official is part of, we need to make sure that Mia Official and Huitema, they're two really big players right now. I'm definitely going to have more of a leadership role in this team now, because Fishlock, obviously, she's a veteran. So I think, Lauren Barnes, I believe she's no longer in the team. Hannah Glass as well, and Latsko. I think Latsko retired at the end of in the off season. So Laura Harvey is leaning in with a mix of
Seattle have not really made big moves this offseason.
Yeah, but they still have some world class veterans like Fish.
No, they do. They do. But the last few years, that hasn't really got them very far in the league. You know what I mean? Like that, their core group of players have not really been enough to make Seattle super relevant in the league the last few years. Like they're a playoff lock team, but I don't consider them one of the better teams in NWSL at the moment. And I think that we've shown that we can get the better of them and have done on several occasions. We just need to do it at home again. In terms of the starting lineup, Luis, I mean, probably going to be Anna in goal. We're looking at Carrie at left back, probably Oyane at right back, unless they go for Haley Mace.
Yeah, I think we're going to see. Raffaele and yeah,
and maybe Anderson. They're talking about Anderson in preseason, but I think it's going to be Rafa and Mace.
Yeah, it could be definitely it would be Mace, Rafa, maybe Corey and Carrie. Corey as a center back, maybe.
Could be Corey at center back. Could be. I mean, I think Oyane at right back is my guess.
Yeah.
So if we're playing a back four, that would probably. I think one of the center backs is the question mark. Maybe Zara. Could be Zara.
Yeah, it could be Raphael. I think, knowing Sab, I think he might go for Corey. So we were looking at Oyane, Raffaele, Corey, and Haley Mace. If he wants to give kind of Carrie comes up as a sub, I know that in the mid's gonna be Haley and Ali Limos and Haley.
Haley and like Angelina as well. You think he's gonna go for the 3?
No, I think we're gonna see
Angelina on the bench. I'll be shocked, but okay.
I mean, yeah.
I'm down because I don't think she played well last year. I think that's fine to put her on the bench and make her earn her spot back.
I would put. What I would do is shit. I mean, it's. I mean, knowing Seb, I don't know if he'll put Julie Doyle on the wing, but
I don't think Julie's starting.
Yeah,
I think if we're doing the 4-2-3-1, then you're going to see Avaya and Marta and like Simone Jackson out there.
Yeah, Yeah, so maybe we'll see Jackie on. I would like Jackie in the middle, Marta on the right, and then Simone Jackson on the left.
Yeah, I think we've talked a lot about Jackie being a 10.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're gonna see it because I don't know if Seb sees it that way or has even played her there ever. But I think her problems with the physicality, you can hide away from that more in the center of the park than trying to go around players on the wing.
yeah, and then obviously right up top, Barbra Banda. I mean, there's no other player that we want to put up front.
Yeah. I
Is
think
there,
one of the wingers could be in debate, maybe one of the D mids, maybe one of the center backs. But a lot of the team is nailed on.
yeah. It says Hawaii has to score, says Elizabeth. It says Sarah coming off an injury. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I think he's gonna go for.
Bizarre and Hoffa,
Yeah, I think
but
he's gonna
she's
go.
injured.
Yeah, it's gonna go either for. I mean, it could be Oyana Raffaelli, Corey Dyke, and then Haley Mace on the left, or it could be Haley Mace, Raffaelli, Corey, and then Carrie Abella. I mean, I think Seb's gonna go more for the Oyane and Haley on as the wings. Maybe Carrie is coming up as a substitution. Maybe, but it says we beat Seattle back to back at the end of last year. We should be able to do it again. Yeah, hopefully. Chelsea are going to shed a lot of the roster in the summer. It's a name internally over there right now. LOL. That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
maybe Alyssa wants to come back.
Huh?
Alyssa comes back.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. 100%. Oh, love that, man. That'd be fantastic. But anyways, any score predictions, John?
3-1 Orlando Pride, Banda brace, and a Marta goal as well.
We're gonna go. I'm gonna go for 3-0. And it's gonna
Luis
be
is back in this defense with the 3-0.
Banda hat trick to start the year.
What? Was it? Who did we play when the beginning of last year? Was it the beginning of last year where we smacked some team 5-0? Was that Chicago or somebody?
Yeah, I believe.
First game, right? We scored 5 goals. Banda got like 2 of them.
There's 2-1 Orlando, says Elizabeth. Well, we're so positive it's Elizabeth, huh? Yeah, it was Chicago.
Yeah. Chicago, not Red Stars. Remember that.
What are they
They're
called?
not red. They're not red, Luis. They're
Oh,
just the Chicago Stars,
Oh,
even though they have a red star on their logo still. It was Utah?
Well, we beat Utah.
Well, that was another time. That was a different game.
Yeah. But
Utah gonna be so bad this year, dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, hopefully.
I'm excited to see what happens with Denver, and like they look really good. They're gonna come out of the blocks, and Boston could be good. Boston looked good in preseason. I don't know, man. It's exciting to have 16 teams, and just like 8 teams are in the playoffs. 8 teams are just not making the playoffs. And nice. So as long as we're in the top half of the teams and we make the postseason, that's enough to like have a shot at NWSL Cup. I mean, look at freaking Gotham, right? Like there's this thing where you can come in 7th and still win NWSL, no problem.
100%. We beat Chicago 6-0. So Julia. Yep. So to end the pod, obviously we have to break the news that unfortunately my co-host and friend John Rawlins is going away, obviously back to England for family reasons. So we wanted to definitely this is his last episode here. So we already teared up a little bit on the city pod, but again, I can express my gratitude. I learned a lot from John, as well as his contributions have been tremendous. I think him and I, bringing the Pride Pod here and literally giving the fans a voice, I guess, and some recognition, and not and treat it as a not like any other podcast. They give it in its own right podcast brand. Aside from Orlando City, I think it was something that I wanted to do for the longest time, but I just never got to do it because of reporting and being out and traveling. I think when John came in, I think we both were on the same mindset as we need to start putting out the pride. When I started covering Orlando, I started covering the pride first with area sports, and that eventually got me to cover Orlando City. But in the end, I mean, pride. We've been through the ups and downs. It was amazing, at least to live with John the great parts of Orlando Pride years, with the whole shield and the championship, and I think at least for you it meant also a lot. I mean, if for me it meant a lot, I think for you it meant double because you've been there since day one. So definitely, I wish you the best. You know, you have a friend here. The door's always open here whenever you want to come back. We'll be here waiting. But yeah, anything you want to say, before we sign off?
I want to say, Loud and Proud Orlando is not going anywhere. The
Yeah,
Pride Pod is not going anywhere. Just me. So like you said, Luis, we were like, hey, we got to do a Pride Pod, and it was that first episode. We didn't know how we're going to be received in the world out here, right? Two guys talking about women's sports is not always what people want to hear, right? I think a lot of the time we want to have female voices out here talking about women's sports, but we can't always get those people. So me and Luis, we're out here willing to do that, and it's something that we wanted to do for the Pride because we feel like it's important that they get the same amount of coverage and the same amount of attention that the men's team get. And we were totally right because 2024 was, some of the best podcasting we've ever done was covering the Pride that year. And it was an amazing journey, getting to go to Kansas, watching the Pride lift the cup, coming back here, going downtown with the parade. Like, I don't have teams that I support that win very often. Like I support Stoke, we never win anything. I support England, we never win anything. I support Orlando City, we never win anything. So that was massive. Like, and Orlando Pride brought the first ever championship to the city. So don't ever let anybody take that away from us as Orlando Pride fans. And I think what we were trying to do, Luis, was just promote women's sports, promote Orlando Pride, promote this wonderful team as much as we can, and encourage people to come from the men's game and encourage people to just give it a try and get out there and support this team that deserve their support. But we wouldn't be able to do any of that if we didn't have the support from you guys in the chat and on social media, and just having part of this community here that we built Loud and Proud Orlando, but we built an Orlando City community and we built an Orlando Pride community. And I love when I see people that watch both and cover both and all of that. But I think our Orlando Pride community I'm most proud of because I don't know, you guys just have a lot of passion, and I think it's really makes me smile whenever I see the little community we built here for Orlando Pride.
Yeah, it hits home for you too. Miss K, being so close related to the club. You've been part of it since day one, since you started working.
Yeah.
And you worked for the club before. So I mean, it's pretty special, living that whole full circle moment.
And I find women's soccer is in such an exciting place globally, like and here in like NWSL and everything that's happening. That's like, I just really think that the more people get involved, the quicker it's going to grow, the bigger it's going to get. And to be part of it from a grassroots level, I just think it's really special. And I just encourage anybody who's not been to a game, just like go give, support the women, give it a chance because I don't know. I'm never a soccer snob, so I'm just all
Yeah, me
about.
neither.
And I want to come support and have fun, and so anybody says to me like, "Oh, it's not as good as men's soccer," I just say, "Get out of here, bro!" Like, you know how many terrible games of men's soccer I've watched? If you have fun, you enjoy the games, forget about that stuff. So, I want to encourage anybody who's not been to come out and support Orlando Pride. I'm going to be sad that I'm not going to be there, week in, week out, but for me personally, this is just what makes the most sense for me and my wife to make this move. It's not something that I take lightly. I'm going to be really sad to leave the community here. And Luis, you've been an incredible friend, and we built something really great here at Louder Power Orlando that I know you're going to continue and carry on. And that'll be my last thing here. I say is just a plea to, if you're an Orlando Pride fan out there and you feel like you could do what we do and you want to take my place, then, reach out to Luis and talk to him. And
Yeah.
because we need people that are enthusiastic and that want to come out here. And it's not easy to put yourself out here and say stuff. I'll say that. But I, for a long time, thought, should I do it? Should I not? And now I regret taking so long to get involved. So I think sometimes just starting is the hardest thing. So I would say if you've thought about it, here's an opportunity, Luis. The Pride Pod's not going anywhere, but this man needs a co-host with him. So I'm hoping somebody is going to step up.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like I said, John, the door's always open here. But yeah, I mean, we definitely. I mean, the pot's carrying on. We're not stopping. So for everybody that's watching, we're going to continue covering the Pride, and if the club's listening too, yeah, we're going to continue covering the Orlando Pride. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I mean, if you're interested in joining and contributing, just DM me. My X is right there. You can email. You can also message the Loud and Proud Orlando Instagram. I check that all the time. But again, I think the contributions John has made to the pod are immeasurable. I think they're tremendous. I'm definitely will carry those on, and to definitely honor him also as a friend and again, whenever the time is right for him and he's ready to come back, there's always going to be a chair for him here.
Yeah, I'll definitely pop in at some point to the Pride Pod, Luis.
Yeah, 100%. But again, we want to thank you because without you guys, it wouldn't be us. We started this podcast with the city when John joined. Well, so this account, when I opened the account, it was like literally my own personal account. And then I turned it into LPO. And then we went from 0 to when he joined in 2023, it was 499 subs. And then he joined, things changed. And then when the Pride Pod opened was literally a year later, 2024, Pride Pod started. And then we started with 685 subs on the first Pride Pod episode. So just in the span of that time, that year, we gained over 200 subscribers, almost or more. And then now
Just in 2 years.
Yeah, and now we're almost at 19. We're going to be about at 1900 now, so hopefully closer to 2K. And obviously, we want to, the contributions I think he's given, and not only him, but also Paul at some point, and as well David, that currently is part of the Orlando City Pod, are immeasurable. And it wouldn't be possible without you guys' support. And I know a lot of Orlando City fans we've converted to come and check out the Pride Pod because they see us like we kind of extend the period of streaming live, so they just want to stick around. So to those people, thank you so much as well. So, and again, John, I wish you the best. I know that you're gonna do great, and everything's gonna be fine. And again, like, this is your home, man. I mean, you're not going anywhere. So, anything else before we close?
No, I'm gonna say I'll be there on Sunday. So if you say hi to me, say bye, come wave. I always like seeing you guys in the stadium. So love to chat to anybody before I go. And I'm hoping for a win, Luis. I want to see some Banda goals and get some positivity up in here, because I'm not counting on the men to get me some positivity this weekend. I'll say that.
No, and I second everything John said about women's sports. Coming, my whole entire family on a personal level. Like, my grandmother used to be an educator, and she was the matriarch of the whole entire family. When she passed, then it was given to my mother. She has a really strong personality. So I've always been surrounded with strong women, around me. I grew up with that, and obviously, when it came to sports, I've never really, even before doing the podcasting thing, never really thought of, not watching women's sports. I always watched, checked out a game here and there, Chelsea game, WSL game, um, and obviously the women's team, right? The U.S. women's national team. And so I'm glad that, we started this to give women's sports a proper proper, viewpoint, our viewpoint at least, and to give the recognition it deserves, not just an annexed section on a podcast. You know what I mean? Its own solid podcast, which I think it's what it deserves. And hopefully there's more content creators coming in Orlando. Speaking about the Pride, we will love to make the community grow even more. So but thank you, John, for your friendship and for everything. We will always carry that with us. And again, guys, thank you for your support. Drop us a comment, subscribe. Anything else you want to say before we go, John?
I want to say thank you, Shinta. Thank you, Volsad Words. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Who else am I missing, Louise? There's people who are here week in, week out. So you guys, Sporty Mouse, thank you to all of you guys. Like, you are really the core of the Pride Pod fandom. And yeah, we love you. So thank you for your support. And I'll see you guys when I'm back in the stadium.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Vamos Pride. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.